Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So I'm just going to start off this video by saying that in the past almost 11 years that I have been doing reviews, this has got to be the best concealed carry pistol that I have reviewed as of yet. This right here checks off every single box for anything that I have wanted on a concealed carry pistol. This is the Shadow Systems CR920P. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's go and talk about the Shadow Systems CR920P. Now, I also own the CR920. The difference between the 920 and the 920P is going to be that the 920P has a compensator. Now, the compensator on this one is going to be different than pretty much everything else out there, and that's because they use a proprietary locking lug system to keep this in place rather than a thread that can come loose. I've had plenty of compensators on other pistols in the past where I've spent, a few $100s upgrading the barrel to get that threaded barrel, and I put a compensator at the end of it, and no matter how tight I've tried to lock that thing down, it always ends up kind of walking at an angle after, a few hundred rounds. You really got to keep retightening those. With this locking lug system, you don't have to worry about that. This compensator is on there, it's on there nice and tight, and it's going to stay nice and aligned with the frame of the pistol. So again, it's a really nice locking system that keeps this thing on there, and it does not require a threaded barrel. So for those states that say you're not allowed to have a threaded barrel, try and keep that in mind. This does not require a threaded barrel whatsoever. Now let's talk about some of the features you get right out of the box. First thing is you get an incredible slide. This slide has serrations pretty much everywhere, and these serrations allow you to get a better grip on the slide when you're racking it. So we have serrations at the top that are in an angle. We have serrations in the front, again, that are at an angle. Serrations in the back. I mean, this thing is really easy to grab at pretty much any angle you want, and you can rack it with a little bit of confidence. Now, try and keep in mind that those serrations also help deal with malfunctions. If you're having a malfunction and you need to rack that slide, you need to get a really good grip, those help you do that. So not just your initial chamber of the first round. So also on the top here, we have a cutout for an RMSC, so any optic red dot that you have that'll fit that RMSC footprint is going to fit in there, and it's cut really nice and deep. I have a vortex optic on the top right now, and that optic sits deep enough where the sights that come with this pistol, which are not suppressor height sights, still allow me to co-witness with this optic, and that's just due to the fact that that cut is so deep. We have a lot of angled cuts around the slide that make sure it's going to remain snag free. We also have some witness holes on the side right here that just kind of give you a little bit of extra flare that allow you to see this really nicely copper colored barrel. And this barrel is not just a standard barrel either. It's a very nice match grade barrel with spiral fluting. The reason it has that spiral fluting is because it's going to allow the barrel to cool a lot faster. So basically what it does when you spiral flute something like this, you're increasing the surface area of that barrel, and the more surface area, the faster you're going to be able to get rid of that heat, and the longer it's going to stay accurate. We have a really nice steel guide rod that's in there, very nice sights. These are blacked out rear sights with a very nice front sight that allows you to get a good clean sight picture, and it's just a really well thought out slide. Now when it comes to the frame, we have a really nice beaver tail on the frame, so if you are somebody who likes to carry something a little bit smaller like this, which is very similar to, let's say, like a Glock 48 MOS. If you're somebody who still wants to get a good purchase on it, but you don't want to get any of that slide bite, this is going to keep that off of your hand. So you're going to be able to grip it really nice and high without worrying about that slide, kind of getting into your hand right there. Now below that beaver tail, you're going to have a really nice, kind of moderately aggressive grip texture. It's very similar to what you would get with a custom stipple job. And I got to tell you, I've been testing this thing now for about 4 months, carrying it just about every single day. And this right here allows you to get a good grip, even if your hands are hot and sweaty. If let's say something happens while you're drinking a drink and you got to drop that drink and you got all that moisture on your hand, it really does give you good confidence knowing that this thing's not going to slip, it's not going to move, and you're going to get a good proper aim out of it. Testing it out here in Las Vegas over the summer months, there were several days that I took it out. It was over 112, 113 degrees, and even with wet, sweaty hands, you still get a nice purchase on this pistol, which is great. You have an indexing point right here with the same grip texture, and that's going to be on both sides, so you can, index your thumb on it, you can put your finger on it to get that out of the way, and it just gives you a nice memory point to come to. We also have a texture on the front of the trigger guard, so if you're somebody who does wrap their finger around the trigger guard, I myself with my medium hands can't really get my finger all the way around the front of this trigger guard, but it's there if that's something that you want. We have kind of a double undercut on this trigger guard as well, so you can get that nice high purchase, and that middle finger right there is going to come right up underneath that grip, and it's going to allow you to get that tight and high purchase on the pistol. So again, everything on this frame was designed really well. I've been testing it out, like I said, for about 4 months now, put about 800 rounds through it, and everything has run fantastic. So I can say that this is just an excellent pistol. On top of that, the frame is going to be exactly the same as what you would find on your CR920. Again, the only difference with the P being the compensator right there. The trigger is also phenomenal. This is one of the best out of the box triggers that you're going to find. Shadow Systems does a great job with their trigger shoe and the trigger system. So this has one of those safe triggers with that trigger bar that's located right in the center, but unlike Glock, who has that very thin bar that forces you to push that back, and it always kind of sticks out just a little bit, and if you're shooting for the whole day, it can kind of leave that imprint in your finger. It's not very comfortable. This one has a very nice wide thick trigger bar that recesses all the way back into the trigger shoe, so it's completely flat when you get a good pull on it. So again, when you are pressing this trigger, it feels flat, it feels smooth, and it feels like you can get that same trigger press every single time without that little hump that's sticking out in the center. Now, like with other Shadow Systems pistols, this one right here comes with a nice carry bag, and inside that carry bag is going to be some accessories that you're going to need in order to maintain it. You're going to have a little pin pusher. You're going to have an extra base plate if you want to change things out, because this thing actually does come with 3 mags. So we have the mag that's in there right now. This magazine is going to allow you to carry 13 rounds, so very nice 13 round mag with a little pinky extension on there right there. So if you do have bigger hands, you can put that on, use the pinky extension, and you'll get a full grip. For me, I get about a 2 1/4 finger grip without that pinky extension on there. But also, mine came with this little pinky extender for the 10 round magazine. So you get that little pinky extender that doesn't kind of mess with the concealment aspect of it, because obviously the thing that's going to print is going to be the part that's in the back that's sticking up. And so in the front right here, we have that little pinky extender on the 10 round magazine right there. So with that on, I get a full purchase. And then I have another magazine here that is even more concealable, that is just a flat bottom 10 round magazine. It gives you a little tool that you can use in order to interchange those base plates, which is really nice. So again, nice carry case. You get all the accessories that you're going to need. You're going to get your lock. You're going to get the owner's manual and all that stuff in there as well. Plus, again, 3 magazines. And these are actually Shadow Systems magazines. In the past, with some of their full-size stuff, it used to come with the Magpul magazines, which are the polymer magazines. These magazines right here are very nice. They look like Magtech magazines. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who makes these, but they're very nice steel magazines, and they are Shadow Systems mag. So really nice that it comes with those. Now, like I said before, dimensionally, this is very similar to a Glock 48 MOS. So that's the type of holster that you would be looking for. You can either get a holster that is made specifically for this, or you can get a holster like this one right here. This is a Bravo concealment holster that's made for a Glock 48 MOS, and this holster will fit it perfect. That means that there's going to be a huge variety of ways to carry, either inside or outside the waistband, and there's just going to be a lot of different options that are available to you with that. Now, accuracy is one of those things where it's really subjective, because it depends on the person that's using it, right? And how accurate you're capable of being with it. For me, it's definitely one of the most accurate pistols that I have, especially for something that's such a small frame. Now, the red dot definitely helps with that, because you don't have to worry about any sight radius or, whether or not you have the front and rear sights perfectly aligned or anything. You just kind of put that red dot where you want it, and you just kind of bang away at it. So the red dot definitely helps with that. But for me, this has been an extremely accurate pistol. The compensator, even though I am not a huge fan of compensators, actually does mitigate that recoil quite a bit. So it's not the recoil that it mitigates, it really just kind of helps tamp down on that muzzle rise. So your follow-up shots are going to be a lot faster with this. When you take that first follow-up shot, right, or your first shot, bang and it goes off, it helps keep that muzzle down so you're kind of still on target and you're not searching for that red dot or searching for those sights again. Everything just kind of stays right in its place, right in front of you, right where you want it. So the compensator actually does work really well. But as far as accuracy and reliability go, like I said, I've carried this nearly every single day, and because I'm the primary one that carries in my family, this is what I have trusted to protect my family's life for the past 4 months or so. And I think that kind of speaks volumes when you're talking about whether or not, you actually stand behind something. I think this thing is phenomenal. But I think what I really like about this pistol the most is the fact that there's not a single spot on this thing that wasn't thought about, right? Where they just said, okay, it works, it's reliable, let's go ahead and get it out there to market. No, everything about this was well thought out. So the internal components, the magazine release, the slide release, the guard for the slide release, the way that everything was designed on this was designed purposefully, and I can really appreciate that. I mean, I like the fact that everything is very well thought out when it comes to the CR920P and the CR920, depending on whether or not you want that extra length, because obviously this is going to add about a ½ inch extra onto that pistol. So if you're somebody who wants to carry something just a little bit shorter, then I would go with the 920. If you want that, little ½ inch of length right there to add some additional weight to the end for your follow-up shots and the compensator, and you're somebody who just wants the absolute full package, then the 920P is definitely the way to go. But this has got to be one of the, if not the nicest carry pistol that I have ever seen. And you know what? It's just well thought out. So again, this is the Shadow Systems CR920P, an absolute beast of a subcompact carry pistol. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.